Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting edition of Psychic Sundays Live with your host, the Queen of Ooga Booga, Psychic Sally Diane.
Hi everybody, I hope you've had a good week. The fanfare done?
Yep.
Well, I didn't know that I had well, I did, but I forgot. It's so exciting. I have fanfare now. But I want to wish everybody a happy Pie Day. We went out and got ourselves a pie and we baked it. The house smells wonderful and it's downstairs waiting for us for when we finish the show. Hopefully Felix doesn't do the same thing Butters did with it. We had a little naughty dog one time when we had a pie for Pie Day, and we came in to find him on the kitchen table eating the entire top crust off of it. So just a few reminders. I have 2 workshops coming up, one in May, and that will be on May 15th, the third Saturday in May, and that will be a palmistry workshop. And that starts at 9 a.m. and ends at 5. There will also be a little meet and greet ahead beforehand between 8 and 9 with some coffee and snacks and what have you. And also I have a workshop coming up in June, and that's a workshop on runes. It includes a set of runes and the book, and the class starts at 9 o'clock Saturday, June 12th, and ends that same day. And when we're there, we will charge our runes. I'll show you the meanings, and we will be spending the afternoon doing rune casts. Both workshops do include lunch. For more details, you can send me an email at thequeenofoogaBooga@gmail.com. And thank you everyone for tuning in. I always look forward to being here. So, do we have some?
Hi everybody. I'm just getting caught up here. Is the picture really dark on your end?
I also want to remind everybody about the Ghosts of Queens event. And the Ghosts of Queens event is going to be in October. That's October 29th and 30th. That's a Friday and Saturday night. On Friday night, we're going to have a dinner and speeches. I will be giving a speech on the Ghosts of the Queens. Our friends from Haunting Live Podcast will be giving a talk on their experiences as paranormal investigators. And we have a very special guest speaker, Mary Ann Kennedy, and she is a famous medium. She also has her own show, the Ghosts of Dufferin County and Beyond. And she will be talking about mediumship. On Saturday, we will be having workshops. Mary Ann will be giving a workshop on medium, a 2-hour workshop on mediumship. I will be giving a workshop on reading the playing cards. And Chris from Haunting Live Podcast will be giving a workshop on getting in touch with your angels. Should be a really interesting day. And to end it, we'll do a ghost tour of the Queens and look at some of the more haunted rooms and tell you the stories. And then we will end with a seance chaired by yours truly and monitored by my producer. And I almost forgot to mention the pajama party. On Friday night, we will be having a pajama party for those staying at the Queen's Inns with us. And Chris and I will be giving little mini readings. Okay, so are we caught up now?
Just getting a little applause happening there for them, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I was just waiting for you to tell your story.
Which one?
The one you just got telling.
Oh, okay.
All right. Anyhow, hi, everybody. All right, who's that? Who's first? Donna would like a general reading.
Hi, Donna. And isn't Donna a newbie?
How would I know?
Oh, okay. Well, actually, I had a conversation with Donna earlier, so I know that she's a newbie, and I'm really glad to be reading her first. I know she needs a general reading for 2021, and I think that her 2020 was just as pleasant as all the rest of ours was. Okay, so we were using the Pamela Coleman Smith Centennial deck, and that's, I always like that because it's got the extra cards. And we're going to do a Northeast, Southwest, and just how things are in general for you. So we have East, South, and West. You have got 4 good cards here. When I look at the North, and the North is what's grounding you, you have the Moon. And the moon can be about illusions and secrets, but I kind of look at it a little bit differently, because I see this as a kind of an understanding of the illusions in life itself. In the Moon, you have the dog and the wolf, and even though we interpret them differently and we definitely treat them differently, they are one and the same creature. And I think that this is the kind of year where your understanding of, what lies beneath the surface will work well for you. The positioning of the Moon where it is right now also tells me that this is a year for you to follow your intuition and trust your dreams. If you haven't been meditating, this is a good year for you to start meditating, or doing Tai Chi or yoga or something to get yourself more grounded in a more spiritual space and in a more calm space. And I think that goes for both you and your husband. In the East, you have the Two of Pentacles. And the Two of Pentacles talks about making decisions up and down, and you're making some pretty big money decisions this year. And you're worried about, it's like you've been bitten in the bum before, so you're kind of more worried. You're worrying about it from the point of view of what can go wrong, because you're used to things going wrong. And I would suggest to you that this is a time for you to be saying, okay, what will go right? What sounds most promising? What sounds like the most fun? Because no matter what you do in life is short. You need to have fun in it. And so then we have South. That's the fire. That's the passion in your life. And you've got the Knight of Cups. And you look at this fella. He does look like a Prince Charming kind of fella. And I think that shows your husband. And just like any other cup person, he has his moments. He has his ups and downs. And sometimes he's good and sometimes he's not so good. But I can tell you that this year he's going to be exceptionally good. And even though I don't see it here, I think you may have another grandchild coming in, just because there's kind of this nesting feeling around. And, there's a certain feeling when you're preparing for a new life. And that's what I'm seeing around you guys. Also, here you got the West, and that's fire. Okay, South is fire, the West is water. The West is water, the West is the things that make you happy, the things that make you content, the things that get your emotions going in a positive manner. And you've got the Nine of Pentacles. And the Nine of Pentacles is in the picture you see the woman in her garden, but it's talking about feeling secure, feeling like all the decisions you've made up to this point have turned out well for you. And also, you're going to have another little one. For some reason, that little falcon there just feels like it's a little one coming in, and the baby itself might be small, so I think we might have a girl there. Anyhow, I also feel like there's some sort of an underlying skill you have here that you really haven't cashed in on, that you find a way to cash in on, whether it's by using your creativity or whether it's by teaching and inspiring others. Because when I put my hand on it, I really get the word teacher. Anyhow, that's what I see coming up for the year 2021 for you. Thank you for tuning in, Donna. Remember to like and subscribe, and tell all your friends and get them to like and subscribe too.
Oh, awesome. Let's see who's next. Lisa Love wants to know whether her family's moving from her current house this year.
Is your family living with you? Well, she says family. She means her family, like her kids, right?
And how would I know?
I don't know. It's just the way you said it. I'm just visualizing, mom and dad and all the aunts and uncles in the kitchen. I know that's not what she meant. Anyhow. Okay, so Lisa Love and her family. What's going on with Lisa Love and her family? One more shuffle, and I'm going to cut it into 3. We're going to see what's going on with Lisa Love and her family. Okay, so mostly positive cards. There's material. There's material progress, material advancement here, and I see little opportunities coming through. So I think it kind of has the word add on to it, so I would imagine that there are job promotions coming. This just kind of feels like general, because we are looking at your family. So a few of your family members are going to kind of make themselves a little bit more prosperous this year, which is a good thing. You also have the Ace of Cups dead center, and the Ace of Cups is the beginning of something new, something new, something that feeds the heart. A lot of times it's a baby, especially if it's around the Queen of Cups or the Empress. But I don't get that feeling from this cup. From this particular Ace of Cups, I just feel like it's a time of a new beginning. But in this new beginning, my focus is drawn on the wafer and the dove's mouth, and that talks about communion. It talks about spiritual commitment. It talks about it talks about spirituality. So I see that you have a new beginning coming in, but it's one that there's more contentment, there's more grounding, and there's a little bit more spirituality. So I think that's telling me about a greater sense of peace and harmony within your family. And even when I look at the Six of Cups, sometimes it can talk about childishness, but now that it's reversed, it's sort of, you're going to see the people within your family acting in a little bit more of a mature manner. So your family is headed toward a new beginning, and it's good for everybody. A win-win-win situation. Who could ask for more? Thank you for tuning in. And everybody, remember to like the channel. I'd like to get 100 likes. That's what I'd like.
Okay, let's see who's next. Sonaya wants to know Sonaya would like a general reading.
Okay. General reading for Sonaya. And you know something? I'm kind of liking that northeast southwest reading, so I'm just going to go right back to that. East, south, and west. Okay, so I'm going to go to the south first. Excuse me. So what I see here is the Ten of Swords, but it's reversed. So, you do have a situation where there has been hurt. Okay? But when I see the swords falling out, it tells me that the hurt is going away. And once the swords are gone, the focus is actually the dawning of a new day beyond that. So I see you moving beyond old hurts. So that's a positive thing. And here in the north, in your grounding, this is one of the bonus cards I talk about. This is the past, but it's not the past as in the past coming to haunt you or anything like that. It's the past as a guide, as a lesson, as a tidbit of wisdom The reference here is Scrooge's childhood, but that's neither here nor there. What I'm seeing is that not only are you moving beyond the hurt and becoming more, kind of focused on what's ahead, which is a positive thing for you to do. You're also kind of thinking about the things that went right for you in the past. And so you're learning the lessons of your past, and you're going forward, applying your experience. And that's a good thing. That's a good use of the past. When I look in the East, I get the Eight of Cups, and the Eight of Cups it's reversed. So this tells me that you're taking a situation. It feels like you used to be one who might just, when things got a little confining, you would turn your back. You would walk away for your own happiness. You would leave behind the material for your own happiness. But you're kind of turning this situation upside down, where I see that in the year ahead, you're actually going to be more likely to stay and stick it out and let roots form and solve the little problems that are in front of you. Again, learning the lessons of the past. So you're evolving in a very positive way. And that's good for you. That bodes well for you. And when I look at what's ahead, what's in the West, where the water is, where the emotionality is, you have the Four of Pentacles. And the Four of Pentacles, it talks about, it's sometimes referred to as a miser card, but I don't get that kind of feeling around it. Simply because it's kind of like you're putting all the bad habits, all the things in the past behind you. And there's this feeling of optimism going forward. And this is telling me that as you move forward, you're going to have enough resources to take that next step and that next step. So I think that bit by bit, the material end of the material stuff, the money stuff, the career stuff, it all seems to make get better little bit by little bit. So you're headed in a good direction. Just keep putting one foot in front of the other. And thank you for I was going to go with the playing card oracle, but I think I'll go with my old friends, the Scapini deck. I like that deck. Whoops. Okay, so I'm going to put that aside. That seems to be sort of a side note to this week. Oh, the cards are all jumping out. Okay. So, how are things going to go for Amanda this week? Okay, so for starters, might not even need these three cards, because we're just talking about a week, and it does tell me that this is a week where if you put your ego on hold and you're willing to take direction from somebody that you don't necessarily trust, if you're willing to take direction, you can move ahead. It does seem to be a highly emotional week for you. But I just get this feeling to have faith, that this is, this is going to be a trying week. This is going to be an emotional week. So I'll just get some clarifiers here. Yeah, this is, I can tell by all these swords, what you've got going on here is a rip off the Band-Aid kind of week. So some sort of a situation is going to come to a head. And the good news there is once it comes to a head, it's over and done with. And you can look at next week with a different perspective. So thank you for tuning in, Amanda. It's nice to see you.
Tanya would like to know what this week has in store.
Okay, Tanya. And you, I'm going to pull out my Lenormand deck. I'm really enjoying this Lenormand deck. It's just one I picked up on Amazon. It's called the Maybe Lenormand by Ryan Edwards. And with the Lenormand, you don't read anything upside down. And basically, we start from the middle and we go out. Okay, so for starters this week, Tanya, you've got the key right here, right center. And I know that doesn't mean anything to you, but it will in about 2 seconds when I tell you it's a very good card. It's like having the key to a treasure chest. You have all the knowledge you need, which means you really don't need anybody's help. And the reason I'm saying that is because I'm seeing somebody around you, and it's a female, but she shows up as being a serpent. So I think there is somebody around you who has their own agenda, because it really feels like being manipulated and misdirected and what have you. So always tell yourself that you have the keys. You have the key. You know, it's all up here. So this is very sweet. You have somebody around you. You've got the 2 little birdies here, but they feel like they're like this really tight-knit couple. And I think that you've got such a relationship around you. There's somebody who's very close to you, probably lives with you, somebody who you can always rely on to have your back. And this person can be your anchor. And I'm pretty sure that you know at this point in time who she is and who this person is. And when I look at just kind of the other side of the now, you've got the sun and the moon. And that is really reflective of the 2 cards. The key, that's you. You remember I said it's all up here. You have the answers that you need. You definitely have the answers you need. And this is somebody. The moon has kind of got this deception feel to it. And so I don't trust this woman, and you don't trust her either. You didn't trust her before, don't trust her now. Just saying. When I look at the outside here, first off, I've got the medal. So this tells me that this week you're going to get something, some kind of an award. You know, and this, yeah, I'm just going to leave it with the word award too, because that feels like it's just right, and it's whatever it is you've been looking for, because that eye reads just very literally. And even here, you've got the message coming in, and the message is kind of like right through here. So you might get an award of some sort, but get it through mail or email or telephone or some sort of a communication here. And this right here, I think goes right with well, no, it's a separate situation, but this is a shattered mirror. And I don't think the shattered mirror is in your life, but there's kind of this feeling that things go really well for you, but on the other end of the teeter-totter, when things start going really well for you, somebody else ends up slamming on the ground, if that makes sense. And I'm just going to leave it at that. Interesting week. Should turn out good for you. So enjoy your week. Indeed. Okay, so Mary. this week. Okay. So it feels like I only need one here. Yeah, just one. Okay, Mary, dead center, you got the Lion, so I know that you're strong. And there's also the Two of Hearts here, so not only are you strong, you have people who are loving around you. When I look on either side of you, you have the ship. The ship's on kind of a rocky ocean. So it looks like it might be headed into a storm. And here you have the sick bed. So I think that you are coming out of a period of a period of depression, just where you've been down, or your luck hasn't been good, or your health hasn't been good. It just feels like the events leading up to this week haven't been the best. The best. And there's been a lot of little annoyances. You can see that with the mice. But despite all that, you are strong. You have a strong support system. And basically, this is a week where you're going to be working hard for future rewards. Because you've got the book here, and the book here talks about long-term rewards. So I think that you're going to, put up with some stress and annoyances this week just to assure that you have a good summer. And I think that's a good plan. Thank you for tuning in, Mary.
Official Strawberry, just type in your question and we'll get to you. Virgo Queen, hello. Virgo Queen would like to know what's going on with Ivan. He's been keeping to himself lately.
Really?
Could just be you just wore him out.
Oh.
Yeah,
well.
Moving the table like that.
Oh, sorry. Well, okay, so I am going to put some cards down for you. Just see good old Pamela Coleman Smith cards. But, one thing that I get around Ivan is he's not as high energy as you, and he's a little overwhelmed. So he needs a break. But we'll see what the cards have to say. Ivan's not used to all this energy. Okay. So, what's going on with her? Okay. Yeah. Give him a few days or a week just to just to get his bearings and just to get his thoughts straight. He's I would say he's overwhelmed. There's a lot to think about here, and there's a lot to think about with the future. And he just needs some downtime, just kind of get into his hermit mode. You're Virgo, you understand about getting into the hermit mode. And it says give him a 3 or a 4. It also says that with the two of you, there's an opportunity. I'm not sure whether that comes on your end or his end. The only reason why I would think it comes from his end is because we were looking at him. But I can only look at him as far as how it impacts you, of course, but you already know that. But there is news of a promotion around you this week. You're perfectly okay with Ivan. Don't worry, the guy loves you.
Okay. All right, this one's a little bit of a wordy question that I have to summarize.
Oh boy. Okay, let me take a drink. I'm all ears.
All right. Have my guardian angels been protecting me from an ex who had a falling out with in a rocky relationship, unhealthy relationship?
So basically, she wants to know if her guardian angels are protecting her from her ex. And is there an underpinning there that you're afraid this guy might get a little crazy stalky?
Yes.
Okay.
Why else would she need protection?
Just a question. Just a question. Okay. Whereas Mary Drashka seed usually isn't this strange about things.
Well, then I guess it's not going to work for this.
Darling, I got a feeling that it's been your own energies that have been protecting you, because your guardian angels are there, but they're asking for you to ask them. So you need to start saging your house. You need to start burning white candles, and you need to start meditating and inviting your guardian angels in. Yeah. Put lots of clear quartz crystals around your house. Okay, having said that, I'm just going to pull the cards. So I have never had my my pendulum respond quite that way. Okay. And what is this lovely young lady's name?
Official Strawberry.
Official Strawberry. Okay. So let's just see. Official Strawberry. Official Strawberry. So I'm going to put down 3 cards and see what it has to say. Okay. So one thing that I'm seeing here, I know that it was a wordy question, but one thing that I'm seeing here is that you're terrified of him, but part of you still loves him very much, because with 90% of you push him away, but there's this 10% that's going like this, because it just feels like you're represented in the Page of Cups here. He's the Knight of Swords, and we don't want the destructive knight trouncing through our life, but just feels like every now and then that invitation goes up. So I don't think that you've resolved your own feelings around this guy. And that worries me, because that's really a recipe for disaster. So I think we might have a bit of an obsessive compulsive relationship happening here. I have to be honest, because there's a bit of duality here. And this one right here, the 2 of Pentacles, it kind of says you've got to make up your mind, and you've got to tell your heart and your soul that you don't want him, because there's parts parts of him that there's parts of the relationship that you've never had before that you crave and you wish you could keep. I guess that's the way I'm trying to say it, because there's a part of you that's not letting go of him, and it's very necessary that you do, because otherwise you are unwittingly somehow sending out an invitation. Okay, so take care, meditate, smudge. For you, you've got to cut the cords to your heart there. This is definitely not healthy for you. Okay.
Suzanne has a new friend.
My.
Is this person going to be sticking around?
Well.
And someone I can believe.
Okay. Suzanne's new friend. That's pretty exciting. New friend. Okay, so my question to you is have you cut the ties on old relationships? And I just say that because where the tower falls. And it's kind of like in the terms of this relationship, like when I first put it down, you get the Two of Cups. And the Two of Cups, you can look at the picture and know this is two people pledging their love to each other in a healthy way. The problem is that it's reverse. So there's something keeping this from being a healthy relationship. And when I look here, it says the best thing that you can do for the relationship is make a certain sacrifice. And on the other side, you've got the tower. And when you look at the tower, see the tower is hit by lightning, but there's two figures on either side. And that's what leads me to believe there's a relationship here that you have got to close the book on before you get too deep into this one. It just feels like you've got feet in two worlds there. Okay? So you straighten this around. This relationship here has a lot of potential. Okay. Thank you for tuning in, Suzanne. Remember to like, subscribe, tell all your friends about me.
Were you about to say thank you for choosing the Queen's Inn?
No. But speaking of the Queen's Inn,
oh yes,
the Ghost of the Queen's event.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, that is going to be so much fun. And it's going to be October 29th and 30th, and you need to make your reservations early because the tickets are selling out fast, and I'm pretty sure it'll be sold out way before the actual event. We have on Friday night we have dinner at the Queen's Inn, and then I will be giving a speech on the ghosts of the queens. So I'll be telling you about all the people haunting the queens. And then you will hear from the Haunting Live podcast crew, and they will be talking about their experiences with paranormal investigations. And then we have a very special guest speaker, Marianne Kennedy from the Ghosts of Dufferin County and beyond, and she will be talking about her experiences as a medium. After all the speeches on Friday night, we're going to get into our pajamas, and we're going to have a pajama party where me and Chris from Haunting Live podcast will be giving mini readings to everybody who stays at the Queen's Inn. You don't have to stay at the Queen's Inn to participate in the event, but we sure hope you do. On Saturday, we will be having 3 workshops. I will be teaching one on reading the playing cards. Chris from Haunting Live podcast will be teaching a workshop on getting in touch with your angels, and Marianne Kennedy will be holding a workshop on mediumship. And on Saturday night, we will be doing a tour of the most haunted rooms of the Queens, and we will also be doing a seance chaired by yours truly and monitored by my producer. Should be a fun time. If for more information, go to the Haunting Live podcast website.
Pardon me. All right, Tabitha Joe wants to know whether Ken will be in contact before his bench trial on April 26th. So, once again, Ken, contact, bench trial the 26th of April. Yes, no, maybe? Did they not give him his dime?
Well, I don't think that he's going to go to jail anyway. Okay, so there's a lot of little annoyances here with Ken. You know, he seems to be a challenging one to have a relationship with. Okay. Okay, so it has its moments. I can see that there's a benefit, at least to the heart. And there does seem to be a camaraderie there. Anyhow, Ken getting in touch with you. All right, so you've got the first card you've got is the message. So yes, you are going to get a message from him, and that is before he goes off to. It's funny because before he goes off to get booked, I don't think he's going. Yeah. He's not necessarily going to be booked, but I think he's going to be under house arrest. So I see this ring. I actually see it as being a bracelet, you know, like an ankle bracelet, and there's a safe here, and so this tells me that one of the reasons why he's not going to jail is because he's got a job. He's got a job, or he will have a job, because it's kind of like you can stay under house arrest because you have a job, and that brings you stability. Surprisingly enough, for somebody who's troublesome, I think that Ken is coming close to turning his life around. I don't want to give you false hope, but maybe, and he actually is going to get in touch with you, but I think it might just be an email or tweet or something like that, because it shows up as a messenger, and there's just, like when I put my finger on it, it feels a little cowardly, so I think he's afraid to face you. Okay. But yes, he will get in touch with you, and he won't be gone for too long anyway. He'll be under house arrest. Okay. Thank you for tuning in. Remember to like and subscribe and tell all your friends. And that goes for everybody. I would love to have 100 likes on this video.
Sorry, I'm listening to the delay there. Every time I think you've taken a breath and then actually you're done, there you go, keep going, and throws me off. Probably has to do with the fact that we can't see each other. Well, that you can't see me.
No, I can't. Well, I can see you, but that's when I'm looking to my left, which that's not the same as looking at you folks.
So I'm sure I've missed somebody. Elsa, general love reading.
Oh, love.
Sonia, you did your reading earlier. I had pronounced it as Sol Naya, which is how you've got it written. Sorry.
I knew who you were. Okay, so Elsa and love. And we're just using the Pamela Coleman Smith deck, the one with the 4 bonus cards. Okay, love, L-O-V-E, love. Okay. A love reading for Elsa.
Love.
All right. Ooh, she got 2 of the bonus cards, too.
Oh, yeah, how about you tell them all the cards?
I will indeed. In the north position, which is your grounding, you've got the 4 of Pentacles, and that's kind of the miser. But, you know, I feel like that's around you. You know, sometimes when we don't feel worthy of love, we put off these vibes. And I think this is kind of telling me that you're sort of being a little closed off. And so you're putting that don't talk to me kind of vibe out. Why don't you start making eye contact and smiling, and become very aware of whenever you're scowling and whenever your arms are crossed or your legs are crossed, because those are things that we do to put barricades between us and other people. Okay, so start doing that just so you appear a more loose person, because when I look into your east, that's air, and that's what's coming your way in the next season, you've got the Page of Pentacles. And the Page of Pentacles is a young man. And so you do have an opportunity in love. And this is somebody who is passionate yet grounded. And so you're going to have a chance to talk to somebody very sweet. So start being open about things. When I look into your south, the place of fire, it's like, well, when you were younger, you used to be really fiery. And so it's time for you to bring that openness back out. And yes, I know you've been hurt, and every time we get hurt, we kind of get a little bit more closed off. But act like you've never been hurt. Just forget that you've been hurt, because it's the only way you're going to attract love. The fact that the bonus cards are coming over, are showing up so much for me, tells me that your guides are watching out for you. And I just get this feeling that you will be assured of all this. And here you have tribute, but it's turned upside down. And it feels almost like your experience with love is having to prove yourself. And this tells me that you can loosen up, you can trust the process, you can start smiling and making eye contact and being open and allowing yourself to be a little bit more vulnerable, because you're not going to have the same kind of delays as in the past. You've got something coming in that's going to move forward at a nice pace, but it's up to you to open up a bit. Okay, good stuff. Remember to like and subscribe and tell all your friends. And thank you for tuning in, Elsa.
All right, Joey wants me to guess what sign he is. Joey, your sign is baby on board. Chris wants to know how his week is going to be.
7 days long.
Ending in Y's, all of them, right?
That's right.
No, I guess weeks ending with a K. I've got my days, my weeks mixed up.
Let's see how your week's going to be, Chris.
All right.
Let's do that northeast southwest is working for me really well tonight, so I'm just going to stick with it. I haven't touched the runes once yet. The next one I'll do the runes, but this one we're going to do the cards. See how your week is going to go. Okay. Well, it's a mixture of good and bad. I see obstacles coming down for you in the Six of Swords here. And when I see the sword reverse, I always see the swords as falling away. And in this particular Six of Swords, there's like a path in front of you. So I think that the path forward for you is going to open up. So something that's blocked you before is going to open up. Positively aspected, you do have a good money opportunity coming your way, but it's not as big as you'd hoped for. That's okay. A money opportunity is money opportunity. Take it and move forward with it. And here on the left, you have the Pope, and the Pope. The Pope reads as what people expect of you, and you never have been. You never have like being put in other people's pigeonholes, if you will, and you've never really liked other people trying to mold you. And I think you're going to get a bit of that feeling this week, and it just feels like it's a feeling. So my suggestion to you is, before you respond to anything, anytime you feel yourself getting a little angry, bite your tongue, take a step back and say, okay, this person didn't mean to make me feel like that. Okay? Because I think that a short temper is going to work against you this week. This is a week where you have to show your pleasant side. Even though you're not getting everything you want, you're getting some of what you want. All right. And thank you so much for tuning in.
Oh, sorry. I'm just having a problem with my chat window here.
Okay. And another reminder, anybody who would like to take one of my workshops, I have one coming up in May, and that would be a Palmistry Workshop. That starts at 9 in the morning and goes through 5. It does include your lunch. And also I have from 8 to 9, I'll have a little meet and greet. And in the palmistry class, we'll learn the basics of palm reading. And everyone with my palm classes, everyone gets at least one line drawn on their hand with a ballpoint pen. So be prepared for that. That class is $85, and that does include your lunch and the all-day palmistry workshop and a class handout. Then in June, I'm teaching a runes workshop, and that's on June 12th. And the hours are the same, 9 a.m. to 5 a.m. includes your lunch. It also includes a set of runes. Actually, it is these runes here, these same runes here, and these are made from a very special clay that's impregnated with kyanite, so it has like the cleaning, anti-negativity vibrations of kyanite. And also there will be a book to go with it that was written by yours truly. It's a 12-page book, but it's a book. And that's all about the runes. And we will spend all day working on charging the runes, the meanings of the runes. And in the afternoon, we'll work on rune casts. Okay? And that's 180. I
don't know. I wasn't listening to what you're saying. I'm trying to catch up.
It was
with
$145.
There's a lot of questions. You're backlogged.
We're backlogged.
Yes. All right. So let's catch up.
Yes.
We got Joey's sign. That was good. We got that. Pet Faluna. How is R feeling about me?
Okay, so...
Yeah, if I don't get to your questions at the first time, folks, just write them again. You don't need to tell me how many times you've written it.
So... First off, with R is right now his focus is on home and family. Now he is looking at you. You know, you have Jera here and you have Fayhue, so he thinks there is a potential here for a relationship. He sees that, but it's not his number one focus right now. Around him, he's focused on home and family, his own home and his own family. But when I look ahead, there is a possibility for I don't want to say a symbiotic relationship, but a mutually beneficial relationship between the two of you. So there's a seed here that can grow well. You've got Manas and you got Bracana. And this one kind of went up all the way here. So this I would see as where this is going to go. Okay, and here, this is Iwas. This here is Manas. And it says it might take a while, but it will be worth it. So be patient. He sees potential here. Okay. I hope you see potential in him.
All right, so next, Christina wants to know, now that the Taurus can't lurk on my Facebook page, how's he feeling about that? What kind of actions is he going to take? All the big questions on Sunday.
I'll give him a 1 on that, folks. Okay, so.
Like in a gold star way?
Sure. Okay, so the Taurus. Have we locked the door on the Taurus permanently? Or will she invite him back in? Okay, so. Okay, so in the middle I have the King of Cups. And the thing that draws my eye in the King of Cups is that little girl behind him with the umbrella. So even though I understand that he's crazy stocky in that, it's saying that you're kind of putting energy into this too. But having said that, you pretty much will have shut out his access unless you start hanging out on Twitter or TikTok. You're good. Okay.
Selena wants to know why Y hasn't faced any consequences for her terrible actions. And when will she?
Okay. Yeah, we're going to do the playing cards for this one. The playing card
When
oral.
will Y face the music?
Yeah, it's one of those funny things. You never really know what's going on in a person's life. And sometimes, really rotten people end up being really, really rich. And so then we go, oh, well, they didn't suffer any consequences. But then you find out that they're miserable and lonely and have absolutely no friends.
You see, Sally's been watching Darman.
So you see.
On binge watching, I should say.
I've watched every last one of them. They're sappy and I love them.
I have to change the sap bucket every morning.
Okay, so anyhow. What was the question again?
Why has Y not faced any consequences for her terrible, terrible actions?
Okay. Okay, so we have the earth wind, which would be the north wind. Wow. So you've got two spades here, so it's not like she hasn't paid. She's faced some sort of consequences, but you just haven't heard of them. Because it starts out with the north wind coming in. And of course, the north wind blows cold, so you are going to find out some of the consequences that she has paid. Because you've got a card over here of heartbreak, so you're going to hear of her heartbreak. The news is going to come to you, so something bad has happened to her as well, and. Here you have Saul, and Saul was a very wise king. And there's something very balanced about him, It almost feels, I get the assurance here that karma is taking care of her. So keep your ear to the ground. Some news is going to come to you. I think that the problem is that she just hasn't paid the consequences that you think she should have paid. But she did pay the ones that were exactly equal to the karma that she created.
All right. Who's next? Cotton Candy wants to get pregnant before September.
Cotton candy. Best thing to feed raccoons. Okay. That's a runes question.
Are you saying the raccoons will eat cotton candy?
Well, the reason it's great to feed them is because you give them a big old gob of cotton candy. Raccoons like to rinse their food. So they take this big old gob of food, rinse in the water, and it disappears.
Okay.
That's why I say that. Okay. So, getting pregnant for cotton candy. Getting pregnant. Okay, so you right at the base you have manas. So it does talk about two-way success, and of course it takes two being successful what they do to create a baby, and you've got Gebu here. So it's very, 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 very close. Okay, you've got this almost rainbow above you, and the word rainbow just comes to mind. So my guess is that we're talking about over the summer sometime. Yeah, I would definitely say over the summer. You've got Home and Torch and Ken. So this tells me that things are becoming more stable with you home-wise. So, whether that means that you're going to move into a new house or you're going to redecorate the one you have. I just have this feeling of you kind of nesting down a little bit more. It does happen at a time of fire, which is the summer. Of course, and there you go. You got the family here. You also got Thorn. And this one's kind of a warning to you. You're going to be one of those that gets the really bad morning sickness. It's okay, though. You know, it talks about when I look at what's above you, you've got the future, and what's more future orientated than a baby? And the sun. And I was. So it starts with, you know, two together, ends with two together, and there's the sun. So, yeah, you'll get pregnant with sun over the summer.
Okay, well, who's next? Stephanie would like a general. No anesthesia. Slice and dice.
Okay, so...
We'll just do a mix and match, one of each deck.
Oh, that always confuses me. I'm easily confused.
Squirrel.
Okay, so... And this is for Stephanie, is it?
Correct.
And she just wants a general?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll just do 5 cards crossed with the Lenormand. The maybe Lenormand. Whoops. That one we'll put to the side. Okay. Interesting. When I look at dead center, and that's with the starting point with the Lenormand, you've got the broken mirror. So I think right now you're going through an adjustment period. You know, where you're leaving one stage of life and going to another one. And I think you might even be between relationships. Excuse me, please. Sorry about that, folks. So anyhow, I do see you starting out, you know, as your starting point, as being a place of uncertainty where there's been some loss here. There's been some, let's just say some loss. It's broken mirror, right? And on one side, you've got house and home. You've got 2 guys here. It makes me wonder if you're between relationships, because you've got one that's stable and grounded and loving, and then there's another one that's a little moody and self-deprecating, down on himself a lot. So you've got somebody who's a homebody and somebody who's super negative, and it feels like you're kind of vacillating between those two as far as being male influences in your life. But when I look at what's ahead for you, you've got a period of joy right here. You know, you got the little guy in the wine barrel, if you will, and he seems to be having a good old time. And so you're got a pretty good summer ahead of you. There's going to be a lot of fun and sun there, I'm sure. You know, just be smart. And when I look at what's ahead on the horizon, and the next big thing for you, I think that number right there, I would go along with it as far as 8. So this is August. So this is summer's winding up and you're going into fall. It seems that you're handed the key. So there is promotion coming up for you. Another reason why I think that these two are a relationship and you're kind of torn between 2 lovers is because you've got the rose here. And there's just a there's almost always a romantic notion applied to a rose. And I feel like it's right between the 2 of them. If you've got a choice, I'd say go with the home-loving guy.
Okay. Well, now we've got a bit of one that I have to kind of...
Translate?
No. The questions you wrote is not really something that we can answer too well.
Oh. Well, just give
Jasmine wants to know what is her true love going to look like and be like personality-wise. I want to know how long is it going to take Jasmine to realize that she has to decide what that person looks like and what their personality is like. How many abusive relationships before she gets to that?
Okay, so I'll tell you what, Jasmine. let's just look at you and love. I think I'm going to do the runes. The runes can be blunt, and I think you kind of need a little bluntness. Oh, it feels about right. Oh, okay. So somebody from your past is coming into your life, and this is somebody, I think that he was friend zoned. You know what I mean by friend zone. This is somebody you haven't dated, but you have had a friendship with, and this is somebody who's kind of crushed on you back then, and he comes back into your life, and guess what? He is good looking. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. So I do see somebody coming into your life. He's somebody that you knew in the past. You knew him as a friend, but he comes in as a lover. And this is a relationship that has he shows up as the next big thing, and that sun right there just tells me it happens over the summer, and it's almost like so unexpected. It's right in front of your face, but yet you don't see it until it's right there. You know, because you have Gebu, which is gift, which is serendipity. So this is a guy you don't love yet, but you will fall in love with fast. And he is, I know he's good looking. He's kind of, I'm getting like this ugly duckling vibe from him that maybe when he was, a lot of us look goofy in high school. I think he might have looked goofy in high school, but he don't look goofy anymore. Now, these three together, I know you've seen the B come up, and I'll point to and say B is for baby. It's Prakana, it's a goddess. These three right here tells, I think your first attempt at getting pregnant, or should I say your next attempt at getting pregnant, won't be successful. And this is just there, and I have to share what's there, right? Maybe not. Because I do see a pregnancy here and there's problems around it. But when I follow the path of love, it leads right to Pertho, which is Dice Cup, which is also associated with womb. So you've got somebody coming into your life. It's going to be a whirlwind romance. And it's fated. It really is. You've got all three fate runes right there. So this is something that was meant to happen. And it does end up in a pregnancy, probably more than one. The first one's problematic. The rest of them we'll see.
Well, it looks like that's all going to work out.
Yeah, just relax.
Right.
Trust the process.
Okay.
Let the universe carry you along.
Abby wants to know about growth/promotions in regards to work. Chris wants to know the week of Ontario. It's 11 after 10.
Okay, so
We'll do, I think,
Abby's
the last one, and then we can get on to the week in Ontario.
Yeah. Okay, Abby. So I'm going to use my old friends, the Medieval Scapini, and we're looking at career and possible promotion. Possible promotion or path to promotion.
Work.
It's not always work.
Unemployment.
Fun employment.
Unemployment. That's when you get paid things to do something that's fun.
Okay, so Abby, where you're at right now, they are in a recovery mode. And so it's going to be at least another 5 months before before they're going to start to give out promotions. Having said that, you're basically the first in line for a promotion. So stick with it. Woo! Work smarter, not harder. He says work harder. I say work smarter. Showcase your talents, although I can tell you that you are well liked. You're definitely top of the list. And this is a place where I hope you feel like it's a fit for you, because they sure do feel like you're a fit for them.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Well, somebody snuck in one more question.
Snuck in one more. Oh, no. Okay, who is it?
Christine wants to know what's going on in love this year.
Oh, Christine and love.
Look at that. We're not even through March yet. They already want to know if they're going to be single for Christmas. Get through Halloween, folks. Get through Halloween.
And the Ghost of Christmas, the Ghost of the Queen's event.
This year, okay.
The
most terrifying mask this year will be no mask.
East, south, west. And we were looking at what?
What? Love. Love for Christina. Or Christine.
Okay, north and south. All right, so this is not time for you to be standoffish or faint of heart. And I just say that because this Nine of Wands shows a big wall when it comes to things getting passionate. So usually when things start to get hot and heavy and toward commitment, you're the one that puts up walls. So it makes me wonder if maybe you have some commitment issues that you need to work on as far as love. Because that's what I see in your passion. That's what I see in your, that's what I see in your fire. Yeah, the fire is passion. And that's what I see in your grounding. But when I look at love itself, love can move forward. This is kind of a product. Well, anyhow, I'm not even going to give you that. This one talks about putting the hurts of the past in the past and keeping them in the past. You need to put on a happy face because this card is here, the Nine of Cups, and the Nine of Cups is one of the most positive minor arcana cards there are. This one and the Ten of Cups. But the Nine of Cups is sometimes called the wish card. And in this case, it's very true for you. You see this figure here almost looks like Venus. And it says, Venus will give you everything you wish. You just need to learn to toot your horn a little bit more. Maybe dress up a little bit more. Be a little bit more open. Let down the walls. Let down the walls. And the word rules comes through a lot. Do you come with a lot of rules? Anyhow, figure out a way to be a little bit less restrictive, a little bit less regimented. And don't be afraid to make a commitment, because once you put your fear of commitment behind you, Venus will bring you love like that. Okay.
Alrighty then. Well, we're down to the end now. It's 10:15.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
This week in Ontario will be like last week in Ontario. Everybody wants to get a vaccine, but there aren't any.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, folks. Let's just draw one card just to see what kind of the mood is in Ontario this week. Are we hopeful?
We're hopeful. It keeps getting to be patio weather is what we're hopeful for.
That's just part being Canadian. Okay.
Duh.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
What you got there?
Okay, I got the Ten of Wands. And one thing I see is I do see a lot of vaccines coming in. But I think they come in like the wrong spot. It just feels like they're the distribution just goes very wrong. It's like they send 1 million to a little town and 10 to a big town or something along those lines. Okay, so there will be some vaccines.
Okay then, well, let's see what we got going on here. Folks, this will bring us to another exciting conclusion. Please do me a favor and tell your friends about us. I don't want you to subscribe. I don't want you to hit that like button. You can decide,
I want you to like.
You can decide that on your own. The only thing I want you to do is tell your friends about us.
And that's anybody that wants a reading with your queen, send us an email for reading online to thequeenofboogabooga@gmail.com, or make an appointment to see your queen in person at a spa near the tracks here in Stratford. Time traveling.
The spa near the tracks.
The spa near the tracks.
Yes. Well, let's just do one more thing here.